Hi, this is Katie. That was the most forced positivity and fake smile that I've ever had to do. It's like 1 o'clock and I just got out of bed. I woke up like a really long time ago, but I've just stayed in bed. I'm not doing great today. Don't know if you can tell by my face or if this camera adds like a you haven't been crying filter, but I have been crying most of the morning. To be fair, most of the weekend. It's Monday now. A lot of you guys know that I have pretty severe depression. It goes up and down like most people with mental health issues, but my depression, my anxiety and everything can get really bad. And most of the time it's not situational. It's just whenever my brain decides to be okay, it's okay. And whenever it decides to not be okay, it's not okay. But this past weekend was kind of situational. But the interesting thing about the situational depression when you already have clinical depression is that, so there might be a bad situation, right? For someone mentally healthy, the situation might stay like just as the situation, but for someone who has mental illnesses, it might trigger a lot of other issues that you have or other negative thoughts that you have or other pain that you've gone through. It might trigger all that, so other things might come up. That might happen with mentally healthy people too, but I think it might be a little bit different for people who have mental health issues. And so something did happen, nothing huge, nothing major, but something did happen and it just completely triggered me over the weekend. And like, I felt like I wasn't functioning and I was just like crying and I was able to get my work done and everything, but I spent a lot of time watching TV and I just felt like I was like flipping out and spiraling. And so today I laid in bed all morning. I woke up at like 9. And I laid in bed until about 1 and I'm like, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna record and I'm gonna talk to you guys. I haven't done a mental health update in a really long time and just wanna tell you guys that I'm not doing great. But in terms of like coping, like how you take care of yourself when you're not feeling great, whatever, if it's situational, if it's your brain is attacking you, whatever it is, how people cope and handle that and work through it and help themselves through it is different for everyone. Some people know they need to rest. Some people know they need to be productive. Some people know they need to distract themselves with this or this, like there's certain things that are different for everyone. And for me, there are some times that I need to just sit or I need to just lie down or I need to just watch TV. But if I do that for too long, again, this is just me personally, like I feel like sometimes it makes it worse for me. So I wanted to get up and mildly force myself to do some things that maybe I don't initially want to do, but I know I will feel a little bit more positive once I've done them. I do want to get some work done. I'm someone that if I'm not doing great, switching focus I think is really important for everyone. So for me, switching focus to like a TV show could be helpful, but switching focus to work is generally even more helpful. So I want to get some videos done today. And again, nothing even bad happened. Like obviously like a little bad because it caused me to spiral a little bit. But if I was like a mentally healthy person, what happened, I know would not have been a big deal because things like that have happened to me when I've been at more of like a high in my mental health and I was able to just deal with it totally fine. Like it was not a big deal at all. But since I guess I was maybe already in a little bit of a low and it just like triggered me kind of and made it worse. And it's just so like, sometimes it gets really frustrating to be like, brain, why can't you just work? Like, why can't you just function? Like, why does everything have to be such a big deal when it's not? And it's just like hard and it's just like hard. And again, sometimes like, it's like, all right, rest, like give yourself some grace and like chill and don't do anything. But for some people or during certain times, like you have to push yourself, or just doing something productive does help you. And so right now, like I know that doing something productive would help me. I need to distract my brain. I need to remind myself that like we just talked about in a video recently, like my self-worth is not based on my looks. It's not based on if other people like me. It's not based on money. It's not based on anything external. It's based on, that God loves me. That's what my self-worth is. But it's like, I always want to be better. I want to be a better person always and learn more and be kinder. And sometimes I fail and sometimes it's hard. And I know that I'm probably not making any sense right now, but I wanted to record today to do a mini little mental health update. The last few months, my mental health has been pretty similar to as it always is, like ups and downs and stuff, but just this past weekend has been really, really hard. But I want to see what I can do to help myself, because sometimes you can't, and sometimes you can, and sometimes it's worth the effort to see if you can. And so I'm gonna eat, because sometimes, I don't know about you, when I get really, really depressed, like I don't eat as much. Sometimes I just almost forget. So like now it's like after 1 o'clock and I haven't eaten anything at all today or had any water. I haven't had anything. So I'm gonna go make like eggs and sausage, which is like one of my favorite meals. I've been eating it all the time, and have some water with electrolytes. I woke up feeling like super dehydrated, and I have these little like electrolyte tabs. And so it's like doing anything, again, any kind of like coping and self-care can be wrapped into distraction and doing anything to take care of yourself, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional or mental. And so something like eating, especially eating food that you like, or food that you know is good for you, or food that makes you happy in whatever way. And like I love eggs and sausage, and so that's what I'm gonna eat. And then I know that like having that water with electrolytes, like that seems like such a small little thing, but it might just help remind me like, okay, Katie, like you have to take care of yourself. Even if you're not feeling well in your brain, like you have to take care of yourself. And doing one small thing like that just might help a teeny tiny little bit. So we're gonna eat, and then I don't know, because I really don't want to do anything right now. It's just so scary how like brains can do this. It's really, really scary. And so much of mental health is like you can't help it in the moment. Like sometimes you can have coping strategies and stuff that can help a little bit or can help over time or something, but not everyone has stuff that helps them, and not everyone has therapy that helps, or meds that help, or coping strategies that help, or maybe they'll help sometimes or in certain situations, but we don't get to choose when our brain just spirals like this. Like we don't get to choose this, and it sucks. And it sucks. I feel like nobody understands. And so many people, it's like, oh, you're fine, you know? And it's like, well, no, sometimes I'm not fine. Sometimes I'm not fine. I want to be, like, I want to like work on it. And like, so I would talk the other day about like self-esteem and stuff. Like I want to be able to talk to myself nicer and be kinder to myself. But sometimes it's really hard. So yeah, I wanted this video to kind of be like a little mental health update for, you know, whatever this was, 7-8 minutes, whatever. And then kind of showing you guys like what I do when I'm not feeling great, but when I want to push myself. Because again, I don't always want to push myself. Like there are some times that I'm like, Katie, watch TV all day. But today I know that if I just watch TV again all day, I will feel worse. And so a lot of coping and stuff is figuring out yourself and what works best for you. So I'm gonna eat and I'll talk to you guys after.
Said you're 1 in a million. I hope you know there's not the truth, to say the least. I sold myself, was stuck like glue. I cut the cord leading back to you. I'll never go back, but there's still lingering feelings. I hope you see we're not meant to be. I'm tired of taking chances just for you to be defensive.
Hey guys, so I ate a little breakfast. I didn't even eat all of it because like I'm not very hungry, and I think I said before, like I don't eat a lot when I'm depressed. I know some people eat more when they're depressed, some people eat less. I eat less, but I definitely ate enough, but I did not finish my breakfast. But I have my electrolyte water. While I ate, I mean, I only ate for like 5 minutes, but I looked at Nordstrom.com because sometimes just like window shopping online is like a nice distraction for me. Again, the biggest thing that I want to encourage you guys about mental health, about coping, about self-care, about taking care of yourself, anything like that, is that you have to figure out what works for you. So taking advice from people or seeing someone do something and you're like, hey, I want to try that, totally fine. And that's sometimes how we learn, but make sure that you're not just copying what other people do. That's a whole in life, no matter what you're doing. Make sure you're not just copying other people. Make sure that you actually enjoy it, or it helps you, or whatever the case is. For some people, there are going to be certain coping strategies or self-care things that really help them, and for some people, it does not help them at all. And so it's a lot of trial and error, and a lot of being okay with what helps you, because it might be the most random thing. It might be like looking on Nordstrom.com and just like looking at really expensive shoes. Like it might just like distract you because you're like, wow, how are shoes $1,000? You know, like it could be that. It could be going for a run, but like acting like Phoebe where you run like this, you know, like whatever it is. Like it's important to find out what works for you personally, because everyone's so different. Because, you know, if this was like a normal time, I like walking around TJ Maxx or Target or a mall or whatever. Since I can't do that, a similar-ish equivalent, it's not the same. I don't love online shopping, but kind of my only choice right now is just look at Nordstrom or look at Sephora, just look at stuff. I like looking at stuff, but that can also be the same of look at the stuff you already have. So sometimes like I like going through my skincare, going through my makeup, because it's a similar idea to me of like, it's distracting because I like looking at things. See, even sometimes just the mental idea of it's important to take care of myself. So I'm going to do something to take care of myself. It's not selfish. It's not self-involved. It is literally how you live and how we survive and how we thrive, is doing things to take care of ourselves, because we need to take care of ourselves. We have to. So even sometimes just making that mental choice, I'm going to do something to take care of myself today, can help a little bit. Because a lot of what we do, I think I talked about this in a recent video, a lot of what we do is our mentality. So even if some sort of action helps us, it's going to help even more if we have a different mentality on top of it. So if it's like, I'm doing this to take care of myself, you know, is kind of different than like, oh, I'm doing this because I'm lazy, you know, or I'm doing this because I'm worthless. So I'm just going to watch TV all day because I suck. If you change mentality to, I'm watching TV because I think it'll help me right now and I want to rest, changing that mentality could add a little bit more help to it. So even right now that I'm like, okay, I'm going to take care of myself, not fully focusing on yourself, because there could be a line between like taking care of yourself and being too selfish. But sometimes you have to focus on yourself. Sometimes you just have to. So anyway, one thing, speaking of that, one thing that does help me when I'm feeling this low about myself, you know, like I said, a lot of the coping stuff has to do with changing your focus and changing your mindset. So sometimes it's changing your focus to, I'm going to clean out my whole entire bathroom and I'm going to focus on cleaning. And sometimes it's switching focus to, I know I need to take care of myself, and switching your mindset to, I matter, and doing things to take care of myself and make sure that I'm healthy and happy matter and are important and are okay. However, if we focus too much on ourselves all the time, it can A, turn selfish for sure, but B, it can almost even make it worse. So again, you got to find what's right for you. But so for me, something that kind of does help is a little bit of switching away from myself. So whether that is cleaning my bathroom or whether it's switching to help someone else. And so I think some of the things that I might do today might include honestly cleaning my bathroom. I've said it 3 times, but I also want to do something for someone else. And so I might donate money to a charity that I like, or, you know, do a giveaway on Instagram or something like that. Or I might just spend more time today answering comments and messages. Focusing on other people could be really, really helpful to kind of get out of your own head, because sometimes if we're in our head too much, it can even make it worse. Sometimes you need to really focus on yourself to work through things. And sometimes it could be too much. It all is different for everyone, and also during different times, you know. So for me right now, I need to do a bit of both. I need to like be introspective and figure out my brain and stuff, but then I also think I need to do other things. I think it's like 75 and sunny out today. So as much as I like, do you guys get this way too, that like, even if you don't love being inside, the more you're inside, the less you even want to leave? Like, it's like your depression just like seeps in so much, and it's like, well, you're inside, so don't leave, even if leaving might make you a little happier. Because sometimes people get so depressed, myself included sometimes, where we know what could help and we don't want to do it. So that's what I was saying today. Sometimes you got to force yourself a little bit. You got to know yourself when to do that, but sometimes you have to, because we can just keep spiraling, and sometimes you can't force yourself. It totally depends. Sometimes talking to you guys helps. I feel like part of it is like just sometimes talking things out helps certain people, but it's also talking to certain people about certain things helps. You might get different ideas or something. Even if the other person doesn't say anything, you might just get ideas when you talk about something out loud. And so I feel like sometimes that happens when I talk to you guys. So thank you for being here. And you guys know I never talk about mental health for sympathy or anything. I just do it to share with you guys so that we can connect. Even with little Butter and his little angry face. Okay, I just want to feel okay. And I know for some people, especially if you don't have mental health issues, this might seem very dramatic, or you might be mad that I'm not telling you what happened and stuff. And it's like, it doesn't even matter what happened. It was a small situation that my mental health blew out of proportion, and people with mental health issues will know what I mean. And I hope that if you don't have them, or even if you don't know what I mean, that you're still going to be kind, because we're all so different. But there are a lot of times that people get overwhelmed, or that people blow things out of proportion. Even mentally healthy people do that. But I just did it, and then I kept spiraling. It was since like Friday night, I think it was Friday night. I've just been spiraling, and I don't want to anymore. But it's hard because it's also really easy to wallow and stuff like that, but I don't want to. I want to focus on the fact that I have a lot of stuff I want to accomplish in my life, and I want to focus on that. I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. Hey guys, it's 2:51, a little bit later. I just donated money to an organization called Next, and they help people with autism. It's not a research organization. It's one of those organizations that they actually like create programs to help people with autism. I thought that that could be helpful because there are so many people who are affected right now that aren't, like in the media, and a lot of people aren't really thinking about people who have mental illnesses or any other disability or any other illness right now, are struggling in very different ways. It's great that there are companies and organizations that are still really putting extra effort into helping people, especially during like a crisis like this. I also am doing a giveaway on my Instagram. It's still going to be up because I'm probably posting this video on Tuesday, and the giveaway is going to be up Tuesday night. So if you're interested, I'm doing a giveaway on Instagram to give 2 people money for dinner. And so just go look at my last post on Instagram. My Instagram's Katie Carney. Just go look at my last post and you read the instructions. It tells you what to do. I know a lot of people are struggling financially right now, but if you are not struggling as much financially and you've wanted to help right now, but you don't exactly know how, you don't know the best way to help, I just set up a new PayPal account. It's under this email, katiewashere.com, like DOTCOM @gmail.com. I just set up a new PayPal, and any donations that I receive, 100% of them are going to go to giveaways like I'm doing, because I think that we can make this into a bigger community thing. I'm going to give 100% of that money away in giveaways like I'm doing today. Not in just this giveaway. I'll probably do them depending on how much money we can collect together, because I'm just gonna have that open. So I'm gonna just kind of do giveaways whenever we have the money to. Obviously I'm gonna use some of my own money, but we could just reach so many more people and help so many more people if we do this all together. If you have the means, if you want to, obviously no pressure, but if this is something that you feel like you want to do and you wanna help people eat, this is specifically for right now. I'm gonna do donations, and obviously I'm just gonna give them money, but I'm gonna hope at least that they use it to buy groceries and essential items for themselves and their families. But maybe in the future, depending on where this goes, we could donate to different causes and stuff, but I would discuss that with you guys first, because we would be using your money as well as mine. But so for right now, it's going to be groceries and like essential items. Those are the giveaways that I'm going to be doing. So if you're interested in donating any money to that cause, again, it's katiewashere.com, all spelled out, DOTCOM spelled out, @gmail.com is my PayPal address. Yeah, 100% of donations are gonna go towards this, because again, so many people are struggling and something like this could really be helpful. So I'm doing that, but obviously if you're someone who can't do that right now and you are really struggling, I do have these giveaways going on, so please feel free to enter. I would love to be able to help you and have this community be such a community of love and giving. And again, like I'm still so anxious, like I still just keep almost crying, but I want to help when I can, so I'm doing that. And so again, if you want to donate, that would be great. And if you are in need, please go check out those giveaway rules. They're very, very simple if you want to enter. Okay, so I'm still feeling really, really low. But something that does help me, which is strange for me, like if my parents are watching this, they're going to think that I am lying, because something that helps me sometimes is cleaning. And my parents are probably laughing if they're watching this right now, because growing up, and even now, like I'm not the tidiest person, as you can tell with whatever is over there, but tidying up, and especially more on like the organizational level, sometimes makes me get, you know, distracted in a way that is helpful for me. So I'm gonna tidy up. My house isn't like that messy, but I still have like my dishes out from last night and from today. And I think my dishwasher is clean, so I can empty that, put my dishes away, just kind of tidy up my kitchen a little bit, clean whatever's going on right there. Most of that is actually not, I know I made that joke, but that's my makeup that stays there all the time. That is a cardboard box with my mirror on it to have it at like a height that works. And then that's just like my soap and stuff. But there's also, I just washed some makeup brushes so I can put those away. So I'm gonna clean for a little while, see if that helps. Because again, like I'm just in that mode right now where I feel like I don't want to feel sad like this, especially it's a pointless sad. I'm pointlessly sad. My brain just decided to like flip out, and I don't want that. I know that a lot of mental health issues you cannot control, but every once in a while there are certain things that you can do to help yourself. It's really, really hard, but today I'm doing it. So I'm gonna tidy up some stuff, blast some music, and see if that helps at all. And if it doesn't, I'll let you know. If it does, I'll let you know. But if it doesn't, I'm gonna figure something else out to do. I wanna figure something else to do because I'm so sick of feeling like this. And again, it's not like you can just decide to not feel like this. Otherwise it wouldn't be a mental illness. It would just be a weird decision that you want to feel low. But like a lot of this is not a decision. A lot of it is your brain decides to be a jerk, and sometimes there are things that help. But one of the things that is kind of necessary for anything to help is the mentality of I want to feel okay. I want to be helped. I want to help myself. You need that mentality. Otherwise, just laying around or just cleaning or doing anything might not help. It might, but having that mentality of not focusing like this will help, but just having the mentality of like, I'm doing this because it's healthy for me, could add a little bit more likelihood to the chance that it will actually help. But if you focus too much on it helping, then that might counteract it. I don't know. Gotta find out what works for you. So I'm gonna tidy up and then talk to you guys in a little bit.
You said I wish I had no feelings. I hope you understand the good outweighs the bad. I told myself I don't need you. In every lie something sings the truth. I'll never go back, but there's still lingering feeling.
Okay, I just tidied up a little bit. My dishwasher is running. Just tidied up a little bit in the kitchen. Nothing crazy, nothing major. My house is still not tidy, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. I'm still like on edge, but since I switched my mentality, switched my focus to like, I want to be sad less, you know, like I switched that mentality, like it is helping a little bit. I do feel more like determined and more motivated. And so that's good. Like that's a positive step. One thing that I realized does help me a little bit is like standing or even like walking around my apartment. I feel like sitting on that couch almost makes me feel a little bit more like defeated, kind of, if that makes sense. Again, if it's like everything sucks, so I'm gonna sit on the couch. If it's like, hey, I wanna watch TV and I sit on the couch, that's different because my thought process is different. But like right now, if I'm like, everything sucks, like I'm in a really, really bad mood and then I go sit on the couch, it's almost like I like sink in, but like not in a good way, you know, like it makes me feel worse almost. That's something too that's just so important to notice. How obviously I've repeated this a million times. Whenever I repeat myself, it's something that I hope to be encouraging to you guys. And I know that if you're watching my video, you might miss some of what I say. So I repeat myself sometimes with things that I think are really important, but we are all so different, and what works for someone might not work for someone else, and what doesn't work for someone might work for someone else. And so it's really important to not only notice what makes you feel, you know, happier or lighter or calmer or more excited, whatever you're going for, but also notice what makes you feel worse. Because some things we just get into the habit of doing when in reality they make us feel worse and they're not things we need to do. So doing them is kind of pointless, i.e. sitting on my couch like more than necessary sometimes makes me feel worse. And so I noticed that. So I've just kind of been like standing up and walking around a little bit more. It's all about like noticing, and then not only switching your actions, but switching your focus to a more positive, like, I can do this. And even if you don't believe yourself, we talked about this like last week or whatever, even if you kind of don't believe that you can do it, still saying it could be helpful. And then you ease into maybe believing it one day. Fake it till you make it sometimes does actually work. Hey guys, it's the next day. Last night I ended up watching some TV. I watched the show Dead to Me on Netflix, and I made dinner. I FaceTimed with my mom a little bit, and then I went to bed pretty early, and now I'm up and I'm working, and I'm still not feeling great. Like, I'm definitely not at my normal level of like brain capacity and feelings and stuff. I'm not at like my normal level, but I definitely feel much better than I did over the weekend. And I think some of that was definitely allowing myself to rest for a couple days, and then definitely doing some of the coping stuff that I was doing yesterday, and also just time. Sometimes time is the only thing that really works. And so the coping strategies, even if they don't just make you feel better all of a sudden, they might at least distract you and switch your focus while you're waiting for time to do its thing. You know what I mean? But I think the coping strategies and self-care and stuff is so important to remind ourselves that we're lovable, to remind ourselves that we're allowed to take care of ourselves, and to remind ourselves that like having a positive mindset can be really, really helpful, even during hard times. So today, again, since I'm not feeling like great, I'm still going to be doing some of the stuff I did yesterday, some different coping strategies, because there's so many. There are so many that are physical, that are like, you know, doing a face mask and taking a long shower and like doing body scrubs, like all that kind of stuff, painting your nails, stuff like that, eating healthy, drinking a lot of water for the day. That can be self-care. It could be more internal in your brain and your heart, in terms of like writing in a journal what you're thinking and feeling, and who you want to be and who you don't want to be anymore, and what traits you want to have. And it could be a gratitude journal that you write in. It could be reading your Bible more, praying more. It could be learning more about yourself and that kind of stuff. And it could definitely be a mindset shift into what's important. What do I want to be in life? What do I want to focus on? Switching focus is so important. It could be physical activities, whether that's going for a walk, whether that's cleaning your apartment or your house or your car, anything that's moving your body. I think I mentioned yesterday that like I even notice that just standing up sometimes helps a little bit. Anything that makes you feel productive, anything that makes you feel calm, anything that makes you feel more like the person you want to be. So a lot of the coping and stuff might not just be things that make you feel happy and things that are easy and things that are good. Some of it might be really, really hard, but you know it's best for you, and that it could even be beneficial long term. And so it's all dependent on what works for you. These are just some of the things that I do, and I just wanted to share it with you. So today, I'll probably do some of the same stuff I did yesterday, but some different stuff as well. I might go for a drive today, or at least get outside, maybe go for a walk. I probably will still tidy up, because I feel like I always have something I can tidy up. And I'm gonna do a bunch of work today. So that might seem like a normal, typical day, but again, if you switch your focus to these are things that could be helpful for me, then they could be helpful. So I'm gonna do that today. And yeah, I just hope that you guys enjoyed this video where, you know, it was a mental health update, but I wanted to talk to you guys about coping, because wow, it's hard. And sometimes the coping strategies will help switch our focus, and sometimes they'll just get us through the day and distract us. But it's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of maybe seeing what someone else is doing and trying that out for yourself. You know, I hate the word try, but doing it for yourself and seeing if it works or not, admitting to yourself if it works or not, realizing that you might have to change old patterns, realizing that you might have to do some new things that you don't really want to do but will be beneficial. There's tons of this stuff. Was my hair sticking like this the whole time? Well, that's okay. Coping is not always going to be easy, but it's actually really, really hard. Like I'm still not feeling great, but if you feel like you can push through and do some stuff, that's great. If you feel like you can't and you need to rest, that could still be coping. That could still be taking care of yourself. Like, I need to rest. That still counts. So getting down on ourselves that we're not doing enough isn't gonna be helpful. We need to give ourselves grace sometimes, and we need to push through sometimes. And only you know when you need to do each of those, when each of those is best for you. So today I'm gonna do more of the pushing through because I know that's good for me. And again, I don't mean that it's easy for me and it's gonna just make me happy. I mean, I know it's good. It's best for me. It's the healthiest thing for me to do. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I just wanted to share some of this with you. And again, if you are in need of food or you would like to donate anything, even $1, think about if 1,000 people said, oh, I have $1, but that doesn't matter, and then they donated it. That's $1,000. So if you want to donate any money to help other people eat, I will be giving 100% of the money that comes into this PayPal account right here. I'll be giving 100% of it away in future giveaways on my Instagram. Maybe I'll do some on here too in the future. But if you are someone who is in need, please go follow me on Instagram because I'm doing a couple, at least my first giveaways over there. And please just make sure that you're subscribed here and also that you click the notification bell so you're notified of all the future videos that I upload. I upload 3 times a week. And these are like appreciative smiles because I love you guys so much and I love that we can share all this, but it's also mildly like, you know, sometimes when you're not feeling great and you just smile to I don't know, like almost help a little bit. Sometimes a fake smile can turn into a real one, you know? So I'm not smiling because I feel fine. It's just almost a reflex / I'm glad that we're here together, you know? But anyway, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much again for watching, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. I love you, Jesus loves you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.